I just realized I think I forgot to say the date yesterday, but what is it? February 10th? Because my trip is on the 11th. Yep, February 10th, 2024. Saturday, actually, not a Monday or not a Friday. Oh, it's actually pretty chilly outside. It's 41 degrees. Well, I guess chilly for me right now, because I feel like we had that little bit of a cold front a couple weeks ago where it was like sub 30s for a little bit. But now 41 with the bright sun shining on my face right now. I did already take my vitamin D supplements for the day, but I'm guessing I can get a little bit more vitamin D later on if I'm feeling a little bit outdoorsy. But a little bit of a different week today. Usually on Fridays is when I work out with my good pal Alex, otherwise known as Slinky G. But today, it's actually going to be on a Saturday because yesterday we were unable to meet up for our said Friday workout. It's interesting how the world works at times. Also, I need to file my nails. Growing up is essentially realizing that nail care, or I just get self-care in general, has a lot more nuances than I remember it being as a child. Because as a kid, I would just cut my nails whenever they got long. Or I guess when I was even younger, I wouldn't even have to worry about it because my mom or dad would just cut them for me, which was actually really terrible. Thinking back, getting your nails cut by somebody else is not a very pleasant experience. Or maybe that's just me per se, but there's been so many times where like my mom or dad would be cutting my nails for me, especially my fingernails. And then they would just cut it way too short, and then you would get like that like immediate kind of yelp or like that little like jump shock reaction when like it gets a little bit too close to the inner part, and you're just like, oh yeah. But I will say I am a big fan of cutting my nails. I know some people, I don't know if they like don't like cutting their nails, so they just forget about it. Oh my goodness, I wonder if this is gonna get caught on the camera when they go by. But what is that, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bikers just went right past me right there. And look at all the cars that are held up by. Oh my goodness, that is actually, what a sight to be out at 11:26 on a Saturday right now. Actually running a little bit late on schedule. I want to get to the gym by 11:30, but with only 4 minutes remaining, I don't really think I can get there, considering it only takes me around 10 minutes to get there already. But hopefully Slink forgives me for my tendency to not adhere to timely standards. I do my best, but today wasn't the best though. Why? While I was leaving, I started goofing around with my younger sibling, and the goofing around got a little bit too silly. Oh, can I catch this light? No, I cannot. Sad. Very sad indeed. Oh, never mind, I can still go. Hey, look, there's 2 corgis sticking their head out the window out of the car. What a beautiful day right now, actually. The sun is actually quite nice today, if I'm being frank, so that John can go, Andy, stop being frank. Who's Frank? But we are here, back again. And I remember yesterday I was talking to, what was it? We were talking about movies with another friend I made over the internet named Eric, and I remember just thinking about the concept of movies and how interesting they are. And I don't really know if everybody feels this way, but I feel like my main reason for liking a movie at times is I guess I have different category of movies I like. But one of my favorite categories of movies are movies I necessarily wouldn't see by myself, but I would still see it if I knew I could talk about it with somebody else, if that makes sense. And I know this sounds like some weird rant on this all of a sudden, but man, do I love talking about movies or just things I've watched. I guess it's just, I just love talking about things with other people. And I guess my thing that I try to focus or balance on is I try to make sure that I actually talk with others instead of just me talking about myself and have others listen. But I just love, oh my God, one of my favorite things ever is just like going to the movie theater with like a close group of people, and then just coming out after the movie and just getting to talk about the movie for like 30 minutes or sometimes even an hour, depending on how much we hated or loved the movie. And what a treat that is, actually. And I think my favorite ones are kind of the ones where if I watched a movie that was a little bit ambiguous by myself and I had nobody to talk about it with, I might not like the movie as much, to be honest. But if I were to, say, see that same movie, but in like a different timeline where I saw it with other people and I got to discuss it afterwards and hear about all our theories, I might enjoy the movie more, actually, where I go, you know what? The ambiguity of this movie actually leaves a lot up to interpretation. You know the gist I'm talking about right now. But on another random note about fitness stuff now, since I guess these are technically my gym videos / my diaries of just what's going on through my day, but I don't know if I want to keep bulking, at least for the time period. I think I want to, I don't know if I even would call it a cut, but maybe I want to enter a phase where I don't want to eat as much as I do currently, just because it's getting hard to shovel that amount of food. And technically, the past week, I have not maintained my current bulk diet, where I keep a certain amount of protein, certain amount of calories, and a certain amount of other... I guess I haven't really been tracking my carbs that much. I've just been eating as many carbs as I just wish. So maybe that's why I'm not enjoying the bulk as much, because if I were to actually control it a little bit more and have a little bit more nuance and specific goals that I want to hit per day, like, and actually hit like a calorie mark that's specific instead of just being like, oh, that seems good enough, maybe I would enjoy the bulk more. By the time being where I'm just kind of just eating whatever until I hit like a certain threshold of calories, and whatever I go over, I go over. Not enjoying the eating process too much. Even right now, I've been eating the same thing. I don't know if I'll ever change my breakfast. Maybe I'll reduce the portion of it a little bit, but I've been eating the same overnight chia seeds and oats with 200 grams of yogurt, a scoop of protein, and whatever fruit I have for that day, with a pinch of salt, 12 grams of agave syrup, for I think probably almost 2-3 months now. And I've been eating yogurt as a breakfast staple for so long, where I'm just like, am I getting tired of it? Do I still enjoy it? I don't know. But I will say this about overnight oats and chia seeds, is that like, they're so ridiculously easy to just make ahead of time, and then since there's literally zero prep that you have to do in the morning other than just put the yogurt in and just mix it up and eat it, that convenience factor really starts shining, where I think, oh, do I want to change my breakfast menu to at least make it so that it's something a little bit different? But then each time it's like, nah, like, overnight chia seeds and oats with a scoop of protein and yogurt gets you fiber, protein, carbs. What more do we need? I guess it doesn't really have that much fat, but I can supplement the fat with, I guess, the fish oil, that pill that I consume in the morning. But again, just things that I'm kind of just tinkering about, where I understand the point of bulking, because it's like the whole calories in, calories out. The more calories I put into my body, the more calories I'm able to expend as energy, right? And I do feel my lifts progressing, maybe not as fast as I want them to be. So there's still something in my training regime where I'm just like, am I doing something wrong? Because I feel like at this point, I wouldn't say I'm insecure about it, but I definitely see people who I assume to be younger with less experience than me pushing way more weight, especially on bench press, on any sort of variety. Because I always felt like no matter what, my bench was always very, very lackluster in terms of the weight I'm pushing. Because obviously people, like the first checkpoint that a lot of people hit is the 135 mark with the 45 on each side on the bar. I still haven't done that. And I know I've been doing incline, which should make it a little bit more harder. But one thing that was a little bit disheartening, but again, not a lot, like I'm not actually very sad about it. Just makes me realize that maybe I need to do some changes. Maybe I just need to work harder. Maybe I need to push more weight. But I remember seeing a video thumbnail that I have from November where I'm doing incline bench with the bar, right? And it's the same weight as the chest day I did a couple days ago. And maybe I could argue, oh, it's because I haven't done incline barbell in a while. But to see the exact same weight 2 months later, after making progress to potentially get close enough to actually do 135, a little bit saddening, if I'm being honest. A little bit saddening. But enough reflections aside, the time to reflect is over. It's time to go lift, because I'm at the At the old stop sign, or it's not the stop sign, what was it? The four-way intersection, the stop light before I enter into Move Fitness, where I am currently 3 minutes late. And I'm guessing after this light turns and I park, I'll be 5 minutes late. So, looks like I gotta lock it in right now so then when I go in, I can immediately do my 30 minutes of cardio and then we get into arms for today. I was very satisfied. Like, I don't know if I would even call that a back pump yesterday. More so along just a back progress picture, because that's about 15-20 minutes after the workout, and I don't know the logistics of a pump, like how long it lasts, well, I guess technically that's the only real thing I'm wondering about right now. But that was after I got home. I goofed around a little bit. I already had my creatine, used the bathroom, started cooking my lunch too. And then all of a sudden I go, you know what? My back feels kind of good today. I'm going to go take a video of it and see if I hate it or not. And again, I can see places where I can definitely improve, but I was pretty happy with what I saw, actually. I was pretty darn happy with what I saw. Like, when I saw the thumbnail again, I looked at it and go, whew, that is me. And I know there's probably going to be a time in my life where I post a progress picture, I show a physique update, and my goodness, there's a lot of people at the gym right now. This might be a little bit of a chaotic day at the gymnasium, it seems. I still need to visit a bank, actually. I need to go to the bank and deposit some moolah. But yeah, I'm pretty proud of the progress I have made so far, and now I'm getting excited in a way too, where I wonder what my physique will look like a year from now. And if I lose progress, oh well. We can always build myself back up, but if I gain progress, I'm looking forward to seeing that as well. But car is parked, car is turned off. It is actually quite warm with the sun out right now in the car. Oh, back definitely feels sufficiently worked because it is quite sore at the moment. So 30 minutes of cardio and then arms. And I'm thinking today I'll do tris, bis, and forearms, and maybe a little bit of abs before I go on my trip. And then call it a day after that. That was too loud. That was not a good set. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed that far for that last one.
Let it go.
Oh, first it infects my phone, next it infects my mind. Alright. Venom. The phone is now, so I keep thinking of that. I got venom. Nice, I can hit my feet up.
But it's too high there.
Yeah, let's get it there. Because it was lower on the first time you checked, right? Lower this one more, two more exercises. All right, we did left. Now to do right. Forgot pinky up. I forgot pinky up. It's time for left. Listen. Look at me. Right now. There you go. Do what you want.
every time I'm in the gym, it's like I'm very good. My arm.
You guys acting for the camera?
Yeah, I am. I'm fine. Oh, yes.
This guy does not quit.
Only until the camera stops rolling.
Is a slight chance that on the drive back home that this camera falls over and we have a catastrophic incident once again. But arms have been hit. Arms have been sufficiently hit, I might say so myself. I even dropped the amount of sets I usually do for triceps today down to 6 because, that being said, I do kind of miss dips, but they still feel sufficiently worked though right now because today I just, a little bit of a spontaneous moment. I thought, why don't I just do 6 sets instead of my normal 8 sets that I usually do for triceps and see how that feels. A little bit of experimentation at hand, right? And I think I like it actually. I definitely feel way less fatigued, which is pretty much obvious because I'm doing less sets overall, right? Less fatigued enough to the point where I feel like I can really push those isolated isolated isolateral, I guess that means the same thing in the long term, but those single arm movements that I do towards the end of my sets or end of my exercise felt a lot better today. So maybe it's up on the agenda to drop it down to 6 sets of triceps instead of 8. Because I remember I experimented with this once before where I said, I'm going to do 6 sets today and see how that feels. And the reason I stopped was because doing only 6 sets, I felt like the pump wasn't as good. But then I realized I shouldn't always just, strive for the pump now, right? Like I can still get a good workout in, even if I don't get a sufficient enough pump. Because I know, having a pump feels nice, but it's not the end all goal. And sometimes I even read on some articles and watched some videos saying you shouldn't mark all your exercises about the pump you got because it could just mean that you just had more volume into it and maybe that's what I was feeling. But to actually get full muscular progress and stimulus, you need to make sure that you're getting stimulating reps, you're working close to or at failure, and progressive overload. And I think there were some parts where I might still need to tinker with it a little bit, but maybe my overdoing the amount of sets that I was doing has been inhibiting my progressive overload, not overlord, progress, because I was just doing too much volume and I could never recover enough to actually be stronger the next time I lift. Or I would be a little bit stronger, but it'd be very incremental increases though. But today, 6 sets of triceps, 6 sets of biceps, 4 sets of forearms, which I know I wasn't the best at recording today. The gym was a little bit busier than I expected. And towards the latter or the later end of the workout too, I kind of just forgot. And I remember one of the sets too, I recorded because my friend reminded me, he's like, are you not going to record this one? I was like, oh, what's the point of working out if I don't record it, right? And I kind of got to the point, ooh, a dog hanging out of a truck. Always a good sight. Always a good sight. Oh, yeah, I love how I got sidetracked with just seeing a dog right there, but it is kind of silly to me that, like, I want people to believe me that, like, yes, I do record my workout. Yes, I, look back on it and, like, I am proud of the progress I've achieved. But there are times where I think, like, I almost think in a way too, where I'm like, am I subconsciously, like, putting on an act before I turn on, like, while I'm filming? Like, do I try to act more tired? Do I try to act like, I really pushed it to the limit? And the more I thought about it, the more I realized, like, why would I even subconsciously think like that when it's kind of silly to think about? Like, I am recording my workout and I'm recording all the stuff that I do because, in a way, I want to be embarrassed by it, because if I only show the good parts about everything in my life, how am I ever gonna see, like, the bad parts and improve upon them? Like, and I think that is one thing. Like, I'm not gonna go on this whole entire monologue about, like, the fitness industry, but I think that's the thing what I need to realize is, like, all of the fitness influencers that I follow will probably only show the good parts of their life and, like, their fitness goals and their physique now, right? And I think it also gets into this weird spiral where I'm just like, if these people look like that, I have to remember that they probably don't always look like that, or they have some sort of aid that I don't have that helps them get that, whether that be the thing of steroids, PDs, Photoshop, editing, good angles, lighting. I want to make sure that I'm always proud of my physique no matter what, like, situation I'm in. Like, if I'm in bad lighting, that being said, I will seek out good lighting because it feels nice. Like, I'm not going to go against it. But I think the moment I start considering putting on an act in a way, or start thinking about, like, editing my footage to the point where I might look better under certain, if I, adjust the color gradation. I don't know much about editing, but I think I might have lost my way if I ever start thinking like that, because that means I want to start showing off in a way when the reason for these videos is not to show off. It's just to keep myself accountable. And I think that's going to be a thing I strive for, like, as long as I do this, because I want to make sure that I am showing the real me. There's no special angle at hand. There's no, like, camera magic. There's no editing. There's no, like, faking it for the camera. I am just going to act like how I always do. And I'm going to be proud about that, because that means I never have to look back and be like, oh, this actually wasn't that genuine. Oh, this was actually just a camera trick with the angles. Oh, I actually photoshopped this to look better on the thumbnail. Whoa, what the hell are you doing? It's my right on green, good sir. What is that guy's problem? I even have my blinky on. One thing I always fear about driving on the road too is, like, I will have right away and then somebody will get mad. Oh, there's a cute dog over there. Dog break real quick. But yeah, one thing I always fear about being on the road is, like, I want to be as passive as possible on the road, because living in the US, there's an increased chance compared to other nations where if you piss off another driver, they might either just ram your car, or worst case scenario, they just shoot you. And I don't want that to happen to me. I do not want that to happen, so I try to be as passive as possible. But there are times too where I have the right of way. I am legally in the right to whatever maneuver I'm about to do, and then somebody completely ignores that and they get mad at me for just driving legally. Always had an issue with that, because the thing too is, like, if they get mad, I can just be the bigger person and ignore it. But what if they get so mad that I get hurt along the process? Don't want that to happen. Do not want that to happen. So I'll try to avoid it as much as possible. I don't think that truck driver's particularly mad at me, so I'm gonna hope for the best right there. I always have this, like, mild worry too, that, like, again, I'm not saying I wronged another driver by saying I was literally in the wrong, but say they for some reason feel like they got wronged by me, that they will pull up next to me and roll down their window and start yelling at me. Because what am I even supposed to do in that situation? Because, like, if I just ignore them, they might get more mad and start throwing shit, or, other violent acts might happen. Or if I roll down my own window and start confronting them too, what if they get even more mad because of that and they start being violent also? It's kind of like a lose-lose situation. Like if they're a normal like person, they would just calm down, especially if I just said, hey, I had the right of way. What do you want from me? Maybe they'll humble themselves or sober themselves a little bit and stop yelling at me. But just one concern that I have living in this nation. That car farted. What was I talking about though? Oh yeah. But I think I'm never ever gonna ever try and put on an act, or just if I ever feel like I'm recording to put on like a certain look or certain air, like attitude, that's when I need to start rethinking about why I'm filming these. I am filming these to be as real of a POV as I can of just me and my mind and nothing else affecting it. I don't want to think about, oh, if I did this, maybe I can go viral and get views. Oh, if I Photoshop my physique, then people will think I'm actually more buff and start following me. No, I should post what I look like, what I see in the mirror. Well, I guess that's a little bit different too, because like, I think there's the entire thing of body dysmorphia, which I feel like I haven't really been struggling with, which I'm pretty fortunate about, because apparently that is a really big issue that a lot of people face with. But I always have this strive to always be a little bit better. Like, I still think my midsection could be a little bit more toned up, a little bit more skinny to get that V taper. But I also need to be realistic. I don't know what my genetic muscle makeup is going to look like. Maybe I can't get a skinny midsection. Maybe I can't get visible abs. But how will I know until I attempt it now, right? Oh, I forgot to do abs today. Maybe I'll plank when I get home, actually. Maybe that's on the agenda. Another thing I always thought was kind of cool and I always kind of wanted was, a sharp jawline. And I don't really have that strong of a jawline, too. And you kind of see, like, the remnants of a double chin still, too. But was that because I'm bulking? Was that just because I don't really have a genetically strong chin? In the distance, I see a person running on the road instead of running on the sidewalk right next to it. I can understand bikers not wanting to ride on the sidewalk because it's a different texture than the road, but why is that person running on the road when there's a perfectly good sidewalk right next to it? I don't understand that, to be honest. Oh, now they're back on the sidewalk. That was interesting. Maybe there was something blocking him on the side. I don't know. But yeah, there are things I wish I could change about my body, but I'm going to take it slow. I'm going to take it gradual. I'm going to take little increments of checkpoints here and there, but would like a sharper jawline. I know that's not like the end-all goal in life, but I think it looks nice. That's a lot of these things, like, there's not like some sort of like social standard that I'm trying to reach, but it's things that I see, and it's the same thing with fashion. Like, I don't really give myself fashion standards. Like, it's not like I go out and I think, oh, I have to dress a certain way for people to take me seriously. I simply want to dress in a way where I look in the mirror and I go, that looks cool, or that looks comfy. I don't know, just things that I would rather appreciate. And I think that's something that I really want to cherish from now on, is I'm going to live life in a way that I see fit. That being said, you might see me take things from some societal standards and start incorporating them into my life, but I don't want to be dictated by those standards. I try to sound smart and have like a cool phrase right there, but I think the end-all statement I'm trying to say is I don't want to be dictated by standards, but I might take some standards and use them, though. As like a baseline, right? More cute dogs. Damn, a lot of cute dogs. That's the one nice thing. When it's not raining in Washington, everybody takes out their nice little cute animals and takes them on a walk, and I get to see all of them and I go, nice. I do kind of wish I had a pet, but one thing I'm always afraid about having a pet is that, like, what if just one day I can't give it the attention it needs, like, just because of other responsibilities that I have? And one thing that I really need to remember is that when I take upon a pet, is that I am essentially that animal's entire life, because chances are I will outlive that animal, because fortunately a lot of animals do not live that long. And since I am that animal's entire life, how can I make sure that I give it the best possible living standards while also making sure that I am also mentally and physically well as well, right? Because, like, let's say, for example, I get a dog, and then you should walk your dogs, right? But what if I just don't have the time and I can't walk it as well, and then the animal gets sad, and then I get sad because then the animal gets sick, and then I have to take it to the vet, and then I get sad that I couldn't. I guess I'm kind of spiraling right now, but it's one thing that I always worry about having a pet is that I need to remember that it's not easy. But at the same time, if I keep thinking, oh my god, there's a little corgi over there. That's so cute. It's a black corgi too. I've never seen black corgis that much. It's always like the, what's it, Welsh corgis that are like that tan color. But yeah, I kind of want a pet in the future. Don't know what kind of animal, but I feel like it is cool to have like a little animal companion that you can just have. A little critter perhaps even. But I'm not sure if I'm ready yet for one to give it the full amount of love and attention that it needs. Because I'm still working on myself currently. Like, there are still things in my life that I need to take time for, that I need to do to recuperate, to recover, and to better myself. And I don't know if I could actually handle the responsibility of adding an entire living being into that as well. Hopefully I get to that point soon, though. Also, I just got extremely sore all of a sudden, so I think the workouts have been quite effective. But I have arrived at Mi Casa. I forgot this fell off yesterday, so I'm going to put gym base back on right there. Turn off the car, and I think I'll do a quick little arm check actually inside. I'm going to lower the camera a little bit actually. Whoop.